Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter, and I just realized that some of you may be picking up Monster Hunter for the very first time with Monster Hunter Generations. It's a fabulous game, but it does not really explain how to progress in the game. So instead of stressing yourself out and doing all the gathering quests and all the ones that you may consider very boring, let me explain to you what a key quest is. Basically, you're given a full list of quests for each level of the village in the game, but you're not required to do all of them in order to progress. There are only a few that are marked as key quests. Unfortunately, the game does not mark these, so you sort of have to know them by either going online or just getting lucky and doing the ones that follow the story that the NPCs are telling. In this video, I want to cover all the key quests. You can go ahead and make a note of them, so you actually don't have to do any of the quests outside these in order to progress and technically beat the game, so to say. However, of course, all the other quests do unlock a bunch of other great stuff, so there's plenty of incentive to do them, but the majority of all the gathering quests and the ones that people find very boring early in the game, you don't actually have to do right away. So anyways, let's go through all the key quests for the village. Okay, for Village 1, you only have a few ones, and these are mostly gathering. Find the Ferns just has you going out searching for a special item, which you can find all over the place in area 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 10, and even 11. The Fungal Hunt, you mainly want to be searching in area 9, 10, and 11. Just go for those mushroom things that are on the map. And then you have Wipeout, which is your first kind of small monster hunt, which is against 10 Macau. So just kill 10 and you're all good. And then you have one more, which is called Another Pack Attack, which is against 10 Jaggy. Once you clear those, you'll unlock what they call the Urgent Quest. Basically what an Urgent Quest is the first quest of the next level of the game. And if you beat this, it unlocks all the other quests. The first Urgent is called the Vaulting Outlaw, and this is against the Great Macau. This might be a little frustrating for some people because the monster does jump around quite a bit, but this is your first large monster. Once you kill it, it will unlock Kokoto Village, Pokke Village, Yukumo Village, and also the second art for each weapon in the game. Okay, with Village first star out of the way, we're on to Village 2. You'll have Rambunctious Rhinopolis, which is what mission you just kill 5 of them. You have the Hermit Grab, which is just kill 5 Hermitor. The Gendrome Roadblock, where you'll have to kill a large monster, the Gendrome. The Land Shark, which is against the large monster Cephadrome. And then that will unlock the Urgent called the Tusked Tantrum, which is against the Tetsukabra. I do recommend if you're having a hard time, if this is your first Monster Hunter, once you unlock the Tetsukabra, go ahead and fight this monster several times and make its armor. It does give you defense up and has pretty good defense to start with, so you'll find yourself having a much less hard time if you make this armor. Okay, once you unlock Village 3, you're going to have 3 quests of these that are up, and all the other ones won't be available quite yet. The Desert Gourmand is against a Nibblesnarf, and then the next 2 you really need to do in order. There's the Crustacean Frustration, which is against a Daimyo Hermitor, and also the Stomping Grounds, which is against a Yankuku. Once you clear the Crustacean Frustration and Stomping Grounds, that will unlock a new quest called the Tumultuous, I don't even know how to pronounce it, sorry. The Tumultuous Sprout, which in this mission it's kind of special. When you first start this quest, a Glavenus will show up. What they don't do a really good job of explaining is that you're not supposed to fight the Glavenus. You're supposed to say, "Oh no!" and supposed to run away out of the area and go ahead and complete the quest without trying to fight the monster, because you're not going to kill it, or if you do, it'll take way too long. Once you beat that, it'll unlock the final 2 quests, which is Current Events against a Royal Ludroth and Robbed Blind against a Gypceros. Once you do all that, it will unlock the next Urgent for Village 4, which is the Nocturnal Enchanter against the ever so frustrating Malfestio, the new owl-type monster. Okay, we're getting there. This is Village 4. You're going to have the Wrath of the Rathian, which is against a Rathian, of course. The Serpentine Samba against a Najarala. Hungry Eyes, which will put you up against a Nargacuga, everyone's favorite. Larking in the Murk, which is against 2 Kezus. And then Crustacean Infatuation, which is against a Shogun Senator. Now note that this Crustacean Infatuation is the first capture quest that you're going to be made to do in this game, which means if you kill the monster, you're going to fail. You have to capture it. So make sure you grab the shock trap in the box and the 2 paralysis ammo and wait until it's limping or almost dead, trap it, and then hit it with the trank bombs and it will capture the monster. Once you do all these, it'll unlock the next Urgent, the Dark Age, against the Yangaruga. Okay, Village 5 is where a lot of people get lost, because you're required to do 5 quests for both Kokoto, Pokke and also Yukumo village before you can go and complete the other ones and get down to the next village. Now, you technically can start these ones early, but I do recommend that you just don't worry about it. Just keep plugging away so you have access to better armor and better monsters, and then go back and redo them around this time in the game. For Kokoto, you're going to need to go back to Village 2 and do the Slay the Velociprey. Then you're going to want to do the Hunt down the Velocidrome, which is the large monster version of those guys. Then the Local Threat, which is against a Yankuku, and that will unlock the Village 3 quest called In the Wyvern's Den. Now, Into the Wyvern's Den is a very annoying quest because when you enter the area, you're going to be confronted by an Astalos. This is very similar to that quest where you encountered the Glavenus. You're not supposed to hunt this monster, you're supposed to run away from it. I do recommend that you take any type of armor you might have that has some empty slots, buy the Transporter decoration, and gem that in. Once you have the Transporter skill, it'll be much easier to run around with the Wyvern Egg and get all the way back to camp to finish the quest. Once you clear all those, it will unlock the final Kokoto village quest called the Thunderclap Wyvern, and this is against the Astalos. Now, it is worth noting that once you beat this quest, if you are a hunter, if you go to the little, I guess, hidden area in the town behind the bushes, you can pull out the Hero's Blade after you've completed this quest. Okay, next up is Pokke Village. We have a Village 2 against Slay the Giaprey, Village 2, the Mountain Rough Rider, which is against a Bull Fango. We have Village 3, a Shadow in the Mountains, which is against a Kizu. And then this unlocks the Village 3, the No-Go on the Popo. Now, just like the other quests, a Gammoth is going to appear in the middle of this one. Do not fight it, just go ahead and deliver the items that you need to complete the quest. Do all this and we'll unlock the Village 5 quest, the Unwavering Colossus, which is against the Gammoth. Okay, now on to Yukumo Village. Do the Village 2 Bye Bye Jagia. Those are the ones that look like Jaggy, but they're kind of bigger. You have to slay 8 of them. Then you have the Village 2 Arzuros, the Azure Beast. Then you have Village 3, the Real Spit Take against a Royal Ludroth. And then you get the Gathering quest for number 3, a Forest Fracas. Now in this one, just like the other ones, you're going to have an appearance by Mizutsune, but don't fight the monster, just go ahead and complete it, and that will unlock the Village 5, the Entrancing Water Dancer, which is a bona fide quest against a Mizutsune, one of my favorite monsters in this game. Whew, we're almost there. Now you can go ahead and complete your other Village 5s, or whatever order you want, which is the King Robed in Smoke, which is a Rathalos, Fighter Uragan, which is against an Uragan, and finally the Fisherman's Friend, which is against a Lagiocrus. Once you do all of that, you'll unlock the Urgent, the Scorching Blade, which is against a Glavenus, which is kind of like the Fated 4 monster that represents the new Burna village. Now, this is far from the end of the game, but since you've technically now gone through the major Fated 4 stories for each of the villages, you are treated to a quite interesting ending, and also the staff roll after you beat the Glavenus. But don't just put down your 3DS, you still got a long way to go. Okay, with all of that out of the way, you now unlock village number 6. This is where a lot of the big boys come in, so to say. Your first one you're going to want to do is Dark Wings Dark Work, which is against a Gore Magara. You have Tough Turf against a Zenogre, Tigrex by the Tail, which is against a Tigrex, 1,000 Scales of Dread, which is the Seregios, and then Brachydios Mio, which is against a Brachydios. This does not unlock an Urgent because Village 6 is actually technically the end of the village, but this does unlock the quest called Stop the Wheel, which is the Shagaru Magara, which was the final boss monster in the village for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and a very fun fight indeed. Once you complete that, it will unlock a quest called the Fated 4, which you can sort of consider like the final sort of big quest in the game. It's against all 4 of the Fated 4, but they're in a row, so it's not that bad of a quest. Once you do all this, you'll be pretty much done with the village, except for as you complete all the different quest lines for the villagers, it will now unlock advanced quests, which are high rank monsters but in the village that you can do solo. This is pretty good if you can't get online and play with anybody, or if you don't have anybody local, as the local quests that are high rank are monsters with less HP than their online counterparts. Anyways, that covers all the key quests for the village. I will be doing a separate video for the ones for online, which is the hunter ranks, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I wish you all the luck going through the village. There is a lot of quests that you can do. All of them unlock something really cool. If you go into your quest log and check who requested it, it'll actually tell you what each quest unlocks, so go ahead and take a look at that. But all the other big quests, I think, will require you to progress online to a certain extent, so just focus on these village quests and I think you'll be okay. Till next time, happy hunting.